So obviously I've been quite busy between episodes, and I want to welcome all of you guys to Lord of Dragon Mountain, where I built up a volcano, a castle, and a plethora of different dragons. But why? Well, in order to answer that question, we have to rewind over a year and a half back when I built the mob boss's castle. But more importantly, what's in front of the mob boss's castle, which is the remains of an elder dragon. This elder dragon is exactly what started the Skulllands to begin with. And well, some of you guys may notice, but there is a giant Fabergé golden egg right here in the middle of all of these pillars right here. And well, if you guys know anything about elder dragons and how they work, well, an elder dragon can never fully die, but will always come back to life every 100 years. And that's exactly what this egg is behind me. So this volcano behind me is all leading up to the awakening of the new elder dragon to rule the world. But let's get into a little bit of why exactly there is dragons to begin with. And that is right over here at the Dragon Egg Market. Some individuals are selling maps to different locations. Others are selling dragon eggs and of course, dragon books as well. The idea behind the dragon market is if you buy a dragon egg, you can hatch a dragon egg in a different biome, kind of like the way that frogs work in the game, where if you hatch an egg in a hot climate, you'll get a fire dragon. And if you hatch a dragon in a cold biome, you'll get yourself an ice dragon. I think that this is a really cool way to implement a lot of lore and functionality and pretty much excuses to pretty much make all sorts of dragons all throughout these lands. And yes, before you guys ask, that chain hurt. Well, we have the market down at the lower tier of the volcano, but we have the castle all the way at the very top. Some of you guys are probably wondering, how the heck do people actually get up here? And well, the idea behind that is you have to be a dragon rider in order to make it all the way up here to the dragon temple. You need to make sure that you are worthy before you can step foot at the top of the volcano. And now if we take a trip all the way out here to the Frostlands to pay Doug a visit at his ice cathedral and take a little bit of a closer look at the three ice dragons here, I think it's Aurora, Boris, and Alice, you'll notice that some of these dragons already have dragon riders on them. One of them being Wicked, which means that he would be worthy on making it to the very top of Dragon Mountain. But more importantly, now we have a reason explaining exactly why we have ice dragons out here to begin with. But that's not all. That also explains exactly how we got the dragon out here at our end hub as well, which makes me even more excited to see exactly what happens in the future when the elder dragon egg begins to hatch. But time to address the elephant in the room, and that is, why does the Skulllands look so sparse? Well, it's a slow going mega terraforming project that is slowly coming together. I don't want to place down all of the skulk throughout this area. As you guys can see, this whole area was actually going to be a part of the Masa project until I changed my mind to make this into the Skulllands. So since then, I've learned to only place down skulk around builds that are actually being set in place here. So these two builds are looking really good. I have the volcano over here, and eventually I want to build one more Skulllands build right over here, and then we're going to be transitioning our way over to the Frostpunk region over here by building a giant wall to keep out all of the skulk crawlers from the Frostlands because the idea is if skull crawlers make it into the Frostlands, they go feral. But ultimately, this is going to be a mega scale project that's going to take me years to complete, making it where I come over here through the Masa into the Skulllands, creating a very immersive experience, having a pathway taking us all the way through the Skulllands into what's going to be the Frostlands in the future. So that means I got to do all of the skulk down below here, create a really nice cliffside to separate this entire area. I want to also have an additional build over here, but don't worry, for those of you guys who know me, know this isn't my first rodeo, because in the past I have completely redone my entire Masa project, building every single tree customly, all the pathways as well, making a very immersive environment. Currently right now I am waiting for the new Minecraft drop so I can get my hands on some of the new bushes, the new fireflies, the new plants, and all that sort of stuff. But ultimately, think of the Masa, but with a little bit more of a darker twist, because we will have forests, we will have lakes, we will have rivers, bridges, graveyards, and so much more over there. Now let's talk about what's going inside of the volcano itself. Because if we step our way all the way across these rocks over here and hopefully not fall inside of the lava, you guys will notice that the inside here is absolutely massive. And well, I don't want this area to go to waste. I may put in a colossal mega farm in here in the future, or it'll be its own standalone mega build in the future. But what I do have in here right now is a bone block maker. So I just basically feed bones, break it down into bone meal, and then craft them into bone blocks right here. And then right here in the center, there's actually a river biome that cuts right through here that I completely drained out, and I turned it into a squid farm, because all the way down here is where all of the ink sacs get collected, because I need a insane amount of black dye to complete all of the walls and the ceiling of my underground cyberpunk gothic city that I'm going to be building out here in the Nether. A lot of you guys may already be familiar with this project, but for those of you guys who don't know what this project is, this is what houses my whiskey train wither skeleton farm, which is absolutely insane. Gets me over 2,000 skulls an hour and a bunch of other resources. I'll be building a Omega style frog life farm right over here, but this entire project is going to be inspired by Arcane and Gotham City, so it's going to be a very dark but very vibrant build at the same time, using a bunch of different lights and whatnot. I am very excited for this build. And for those of you guys who are probably wondering, yes, I did completely mine out this area without the help of any TNT duping. Everything you see here has been done with a pickaxe, and everything you actually see inside of my world has been done without the help of Lighmatica, all free-handed over on my Twitch channel, live every single day. So if you guys want to come accompany me with building up this entire world, as you guys see, you guys can definitely do that. I'm now currently streaming on YouTube, so maybe I'll see you over there as well. And I guess while I'm selling myself out right now, consider leaving a like on the video and subscribe if you guys want to see some more, because I'm trying to come out with videos every single Saturday. This video in particular took a little bit of time to come out, and I think you guys know exactly why that is. And now I want to get into a little bit of the actual dragons that I did build, and giving you guys a little bit of a closer look and a little bit of insight on how these dragons came together. But this dragon in particular was the very first one we built. Well, actually, it's not actually a dragon, it's a wyvern, because you can see the claws are actually attached to the wings over here, and it does have back legs over there. But I absolutely love the way the eye turned out here. I think that turned absolutely fantastic. And this dragon in particular is named Ember. Below us is actually their partner. This one right over here is named Frost. So Frost is a blue dragon with a little bit of a raw iron underbelly with a beacon eye and some lapis, which I think looks absolutely fantastic. And I know that I'm probably triggering you guys by calling these guys dragons, but I know that they're wyverns. Just don't come after me, you know? But these ones turned out absolutely amazing. We also have a dead wyvern skeleton out here in the skull. But what's the color that you get when you add red and blue together? And well, that is purple. This dragon in particular was probably the most difficult dynamic pose I've ever done. I almost gave up on this dragon. Twitch actually kept me going and they said I could do it. So I stuck with it, and well, I'm actually quite happy with the way that this dragon turned out in the end. This is Wisp. Wisp is a black and purple dragon, of course. And the idea behind this pose is if you're looking at it from the side, you can see it a little bit better, but the legs are extended on out. And the wings, of course, are slowing down the dragon because this one in particular is about to land on the bridge. And this dragon right over here is not actually a dragon, but is actually a statue, which is offering you some fire resistance as you make your way into the volcano itself. And now finally, my favorite dragon out of all of them is Dandelion right over here. And for those of you guys who are unfamiliar with this style of dragon, this is an Eastern dragon. So Eastern dragons don't actually have wings, but instead are a little bit more serpent-like, float through the sky, and they have arms and legs and are a little bit different from the dragons that you guys are more familiar with, which are actually considered Western dragons that are a little bit more for evil and destruction that you guys are all aware of, while Eastern dragons are more known for peace and prosperity and considered gods in other cultures. Now here's a photo of what an actual dragon looks like. You guys will notice that it has wings, arms, and legs, and the commonly mistaken wyvern, who only has back legs and its wings are actually attached to its arms itself. And of course, that is just a blanket statement. There are a lot of other style of dragons and of course other dragon lore out there. But unfortunately, that is all the time that we're going to have for today. Let me know what you guys think of the Dragon Mountain. And until next time, YouTube thinks you guys should watch this episode.